One thing the anime community is known for is having some questionable opinions, or in the community known as hot takes. So today I have asked you guys what are some of your own personal hot takes, and we are going to be going over a few of them and seeing if they are truly a hot take or if someone's just looking for attention. Followed by the end of this is my own personal hot takes. So feel free to comment yours down below and let's get into it. Aliens ruined Naruto. Now personally, I would say this is a pretty cold take because I think this is pretty well agreed on that the aliens are really what ruined a lot of Naruto. Now personally, I'm not going to say here and say that Kage and the Otsutsuki ruined Naruto because they really didn't. But them killing off Madara in such a way of doing that was the worst choice that they could have made. Now I understand setting up the next series was a great way of doing that. They did it in a very good way. But when you kill off the character who's been mentioned more than any other character in the entire series, that's where I personally had an issue with it. One Piece shouldn't be a part of the big three. It's genuinely trash, and personally, I believe the world would be better if it wasn't created. That is a hot take. You could even argue that that is an extreme take because realistically, anyone who's probably seen One Piece is not going to say this. Now, I personally have my own beliefs on One Piece, but we're not going to get into that right now. But saying that One Piece shouldn't even be a part of the big three is insane because One Piece has arguably been the most popular, and ever since the pandemic, it has become one of the most popular anime of all time. So yes, I would just say this is a hot or extreme take, or you're just genuinely looking for attention. The only people who enjoy Naruto and Dragon Ball are the ones who grew up watching it and when they were younger, because they're overall extremely boring stories that tend to be quite predictable and repetitive. That itself is a hot take, but it looks like we got some more to this one. God, I couldn't heart react this hard enough. It's the nostalgia that keeps it going. Trying to watch it as an adult who has no nostalgia attached to and very open-minded, I just couldn't do it. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. I just wouldn't agree with it. And we got another one. Girl, same. I barely got through the exams in Naruto and I just couldn't watch Dragon Ball even though I gave everything a shot. Now, personally, this is definitely a hot take. I also grew up with Naruto, so I'm gonna have a little bit of that nostalgia factor that they're talking about. But I cannot sit here and say that you couldn't get to the Chunin exams because the Land of Waves arc, as far as the big three goes, is easily the best arc out of the three. Like if you're talking about starter arc, Naruto does it the best. Also, I really can't believe the fact that you said that it is extremely boring, even though both of those stories have influenced about all of modern anime today. Also, just saying the fact that they're a little bit repetitive and predictable is a little bullshit to me, just strictly based off the fact of, I mean, they're battle shonen. They're shonen anime. Of course, they're going to be a little bit predictable because everything has been based off of them. So, of course, if you've seen a lot of anime and you're just now starting those, a lot of it is going to feel very predictable because, well, you've probably have seen it 100 times because of the amount of times it's been copied. So personally, this is a hot take, but you're entitled to your opinion. Jujutsu Kaisen ain't it. Yeah, the anime looks sick, but in terms of like the manga, nothing special about it. Personally, I would agree with that take. I genuinely don't think Jujutsu Kaisen deserves the most popular title in the world, but it's a great anime. I just don't think it deserves that level of factor. What Griffith did was awful, but I respect the dude for building Falkina and achieving his dreams. That's some serious dedication. I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm guessing Berserk fans, you will know. So please comment down below. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood objectively is a good show, but holy shit, there's nothing in it to grip me and make me love it. It's probably because I watched it after 200 anime, but I expect something way better because of the anime community hype for it. Now, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is one of those weird ones because it's one of those shows where it just does everything just good enough to call it perfect. Is it the best anime of all time? Personally, I do not believe so, but it is one of those where as a community, we have just kind of agreed that like, yes, this is kind of the standard of what anime should live up to. And yeah, I would definitely agree with the fact of if you've seen that many anime, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is probably not going to grip you the same way it would if someone was on their like 10th anime. But for the fact of saying that it didn't grip you, that I just can't fully believe because there's so many little moments in the show that grip you, whether it's the deaths, whether it's the plot twist, whether it's the character reveals. Personally, I understand where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, I would say this is a pretty mild take. Naruto and Avatar: The Last Airbender are garbage. This, to me personally, is offensive. I would say this is an extreme hot take because I genuinely do believe Avatar: The Last Airbender is the best show of all time. I also love Naruto, so I have the nostalgia beam for that. But at the end of the day, I feel like this person was strictly going for attention because I've never met someone in person who did not actually enjoy Avatar: The Last Airbender. And to go as far as to say garbage is just insane to me. While shonen can be considered a gateway anime, you shouldn't stay there. I would say this is a pretty cold take because I think this is a very agreeable thing. I don't think everyone in their world should just jump into anime with shonen and stay in shonen because there's a bunch of different categories to, you know, go off of and whatnot. But it is also one of those where I could definitely understand if you get into anime and you don't want to branch your horizons because, well, shonen has the most amount of anime there is. So if you're gonna stay with that, you at least have the biggest selection to choose from. One Punch Man puts me to sleep. I'm sorry. Honestly, I would kind of agree with this because I was not the biggest One Punch Man fan. When it first came out, I didn't really understand the comedy aspect of everything, and I thought it was just a mediocre show. Then season 2 came out, and I kind of realized, like, oh shit, okay, this anime is actually kind of fire. But I could definitely understand. It might just not be for you, and I 100% would understand that. Naruto had friends since he was a kid. Honestly, this is a pretty mild take. I know in the anime, a lot of the times it really did seem like Naruto was all by himself and he never had friends, which is just kind of not true. I mean, we've seen plenty of times that he did have friends growing up. Like, he had Shikamaru, he had Choji, he had Kiba. There was a lot of people who were there for him when he was younger. Now, was he as close with any of them as a lot of other people might have been, and he probably didn't have as much of friends as the others? That's probably true. But at the end of the day, Naruto did have friends growing up, especially if you look at the flashback. There's a lot of flashbacks that show there was people around him that were there for Naruto. Slice of life and rom-com anime with little to no plot are the best. Honestly, I would say this is a cold take. I'm gonna put it in the mild take category just because of the fact of there are a lot of people that will not watch these because they're not looking for a plot. I love those because sometimes, guys, you need it. These are like my battle shonen. I go ahead, I put them on, and I just turn my brain off and I just have a good time. I'm not looking to have the most in-depth, crazy, mind-boggling stories every time I watch a show. Sometimes I just want to watch a cute couple do cute things and that's it. So yes, I would actually agree with this person. All right, this person went on a spree. So let's go through these. One Piece isn't as great as most people make it out to be. Personally, I would agree with this statement. One Piece has a lot of issues that people just don't want to talk about. Hunter x Hunter is not as great as people make it out to be. I can't agree with this because I genuinely do love every single art of Hunter x Hunter, but I understand it's a little too hyped. JJK verse isn't that strong in comparison to other verses. I 100% agree with this. I mean, whenever you get into an argument with a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, their entire argument is the fact of, well, Gojo has infinity. Honestly, I don't really care. I really don't care. He will probably still lose to most people. I love Tokyo Ghoul anime. Haven't read the manga, but I know they're not the same. Honestly, I'm the same way. I want to read the Tokyo Ghoul manga just because of the fact that I love the original Tokyo Ghoul. I think it was a masterpiece, but then it got a little complicated. And a lot of people say that if you liked season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul, the manga is nearly a perfect manga. So eventually I'm gonna have to read it. Attack on Titan and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood are the most rounded anime there is. They both are one of the only ones that are close to a 10 out of 10 in every category. I would 100% agree with this. Like I said earlier, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood just does everything well enough where you could consider it a perfect anime. And as Attack on Titan being my favorite anime of all time, I would 100% agree with this because realistically, if you look at it in any category, they're both just doing everything perfect. Whether you're looking at the story, characters, twists, main character, drive for the show, I would just personally agree with that statement. Usopp is the worst character in all of anime and it isn't even close. Now personally, I would say this is a pretty medium take because Usopp is one of the few characters in anime where you either have people that absolutely adore this man, think he's one of the most entertaining characters in One Piece and all of fiction, or you have the people like me who just genuinely think he's the most annoying character ever, and I genuinely don't like Usopp in any way. So personally, I'm agreeing with this take, but I think if you ask the One Piece community, they're gonna disagree. Sword Art Online isn't bad. This is the exact same thing as that other one, because you have so much of the community that just absolutely hates Sword Art Online, which I understand. Sword Art Online, it's a little bit cringy when you look at it in today's standards, but when you look at it when it came out, it did tremendous things for the anime community. Kirito was every, you know, young boy's dream guy to be. They wanted to be the edgy sword guy who went into a video game and saved the entire world. Like, it's exactly what you wanted at that point in time. Nowadays, yeah, it's probably a little bit cringy, I'm not gonna lie, but I think for the hate for Sword Art Online is way too harsh, because a lot of people I feel like haven't even seen it that hate it that much. But that is all of them. So we are gonna go over my personal hot takes, and comment what your thoughts are on mine down below, as well as some other hot takes that you have about the anime community. And none of these are in a particular order, so let's go. First one is, if Black Clover had Demon Slayer's animation budget, it would be the greatest anime of all time. Now, I am kind of stretching this a little bit, but I genuinely do believe that if Black Clover had Demon Slayer's budget for the animation and could do everything that they wanted to do, Black Clover would absolutely destroy Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer as far as popularity goes, because it has some of the best stories and side characters that we've seen in a long time. One Piece has a lot of issues, and it is just sheerly glossed over because of the sheer dedication of the fandom. This is something that I've said for a while now, and I'm starting to get over it now that I am completely caught up in the anime and the manga. But One Piece does have a lot of flaws, especially when you look at the early story and a lot of the early stuff. There's a lot of issues in One Piece. Now, do I think it is a bad anime? Absolutely not. Do I think it's a little bit overhyped? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's a great story. So we move on. People are way too harsh on My Hero Academia, and they judge their entire thing based off of the fandom, which I understand. The My Hero fandom is one of the weirdest, cringiest fandoms that we have in the community, but don't judge it based off of the anime. That's not fair, because the anime and the manga are absolutely amazing. You can have your issues with Deku and all that stuff, but as a story goes, My Hero is definitely one of the top anime that is currently airing. The Promised Neverland Season 2 is the worst adaptation in history. I don't think that's a cold take or a hot take. That is just a fact. They ruined it. They fully ruined one of the best stories that we could have had ever. Just saying. Jujutsu Kaisen is way overrated. I just genuinely don't believe that Jujutsu Kaisen deserves as much hype as it has. I understand that there's a lot of new people to the community, and they're looking for something that's like they're edgy. Like Jujutsu Kaisen is this generation's Tokyo Ghoul. It was for the people who are getting into the anime community and want that gore, that action, that edginess. That's honestly just what Jujutsu Kaisen is for the modern anime community. The filler argument is the dumbest argument you can make for not wanting to watch an anime. Now, I'm morally arguing this for the side of Naruto because, guys, there's thousands of websites that you can look up to skip the filler. And honestly, 90% of you are probably going to be on your phone the entire time while you're watching these animes anyway. So don't make the excuse that, oh, well, it's 60% filler, so it's not watchable. Okay, well then skip the filler. I don't think that's debatable. Jujutsu Kaisen shouldn't have won as many awards. Now, this is because of the Crunchyroll Awards. I mean, I genuinely just don't think it should have been nominated for that many. And for the fact of it winning a lot of those, I just don't believe it. I think Jujutsu Kaisen is just like, yes, I understand. It won the title for the most popular anime in the world. But at the end of the day, did it deserve that many of them? Probably not. Attack on Titan is the closest thing to a perfect anime. I think this is a fact. I mean, I think Attack on Titan, if there wasn't such a weird amount of hate for it, I think it would easily surpass Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood as like the pinnacle for anime, because I genuinely believe it is the pinnacle of anime. Code Geass isn't that interesting. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I know in every single way of the form, I should absolutely love Code Geass, but there was never a part of it that really drew me in. Maybe because, you know, I watched it like Full Metal Alchemist. I had watched it after I'd watched a bunch of anime and I kind of saw everything coming. There wasn't a real shock factor to me, and honestly, I just think it was an okay story at best. Now, I've gone over this one in the past, but we're going to go over it one more time, and that is no starter anime should have over 30 plus episodes, because what person who's starting to get into the genre would it make sense for them to start with something that is very long-winded? Because you don't know what anyone whose starter anime is gonna be good for. So don't recommend something that's 1,000 episodes. I'm looking at you, One Piece fans. You guys are insane, because why would you do that? But that is my personal hot takes, and I want you guys to debate them down below. Don't criticize me, but just genuinely, I'm looking for debates on these. And make sure to guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, bye, and boom.